Good evening. We'll begin our meeting with a prayer and pledge of allegiance led by Councillor Marion.
Good evening. I would like to welcome Pastor Tim Lindsay up to the podium to lead the prayer.
Let's pray. Father, we are so grateful to be here this evening. Thank you for our city. Thank you for our public servants. It's good to see even some past public servants here. Lord, I think of election tomorrow. Thank you, Lord, we've been able to do some of the early voting and the primaries tomorrow. Thank you for each and every person that was willing to put their name on a ballot, Lord. I pray, Lord, you'd help us this evening. Lord, help us. Lord, we want to honor you and please you with it. Lord, we have a lot of personal things going on in our lives and a lot of things going, but we have to put all that aside and do the city's business. Thank you for entrusting it to these 25 individuals. Thank you for all their support staff. Thank you that you can give us strength and courage to do the right thing and then do it in an honorable way. Would you bless us this evening? We give this to you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councillors, please select your green button to indicate your attendance. There are 25 councillors present. This evening, in terms of introduction of guests and visitors, this evening the O'Neill School of Public and Environmental Affairs and IU Public Policy Institute would like to present the council the 2022 John L. Krause Award for Public Policy Innovation to the council. Yes. Councillors, actually, if you would like to come down and be recognized.
Come up as close as you can. We'll try to get the rest of these guys to fill in back here. Are we all up here? Chairman Oliver. Chairman Oliver. Yeah. There's room over here, and there's some back here.
Chairman, there's a spot right here for you. Or not.
Okay. All right.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sean Mooney. I'm the Dean of the O'Neill School of Public and Environmental Affairs at IU and IUPUI, and I'd like to introduce the Director of the Public Policy Institute, Tom Guevara, to present the award.
Thank you, Dean Mooney, and let me say thank you very much for allowing me this brief moment to present this award to the City County Council. This award is actually overdue by a couple of years, but obviously because of the pandemic, things have been delayed in almost every aspect of our business, but I'm glad that we're able to do so today. The first award presented to its namesake, John Krause, who's also with us and will give you just a very brief explanation too about the nature of the vase that I have behind me that symbolizes the award. Was awarded upon his retirement from PPI in May of 2004, and it's a glass work of art by Hoosier artist Ben Johnson, and his name is included in the award on the piece. This award is given to an individual or entity for applied research or activities that create real-world differences and help Indiana and its communities move forward. The Indianapolis City County Council, under the leadership of Council President Bob Osley, like many municipal legislative bodies, serves Indianapolis and Marion County communities in many ways. What distinguishes this council from other legislative bodies is their desire to use objective research and analysis to inform members on key issues and to help them improve service and responsiveness to their constituents. In 2019, the council engaged IUPPI to conduct a study to develop measures of council legislative efficacy. The methods included public surveys, structured interviews, and other reviews, deep dives into data that was available to us. Researchers at PPI and IU's O'Neill School of Public and Environmental Affairs were unable to identify a similar project where a legislative body sought to objectively evaluate its effectiveness in order to serve its constituents better. The results were delivered to all councilors in 2020 who could then use this information to improve their outreach to constituents as well as to work effectively with other stakeholders. A follow-up project evaluated the organizational structure of the council staff also to determine how staff can serve their councilors more effectively. The council's approach, using PPI and O'Neill School's deep public administration and policy experience to objectively analyze and understand key public policy and governmental process issues, is a model for other legislative bodies to emulate to create real-world change and to help Indiana and its communities move forward. And so I'm pleased to present the 2020 John L. Krause Award for Public Policy Innovation to the Indianapolis City County Council.
Thank you. I accept this on behalf of my colleagues and our staff, who are amazing, who help us stay in touch with the residents of Marion County, who let us know on a regular basis their expectations, and that is where this all comes from. So thank you. And John would like to.
Thanks very much. Doesn't seem possible, but 50 years ago when Dick Lugar hired me when he was mayor, and then I went on to become deputy mayor under Bill Hudnut. But Lugar and Hudnut showed me something I think you can appreciate. The public service is a calling. But over the years, I have felt very sincerely that you've got two things to do as a public servant. One is solve problems, and the other is to create opportunities. And in order to do those, you need good facts, good data. You need someone to help you understand it in a nonpartisan way. And I think getting this award today is a good example that the City County Council has done that, because there's change about us. One of my colleagues said, if you don't change, it doesn't remain the same. So I want to say thank you and congratulations. The award is not about me. It is a vehicle by which the O'Neill School of Public Environmental Affairs and the IU Public Policy Institute can recognize folks that are doing the right thing, getting facts and data in order to make some critical decisions that benefits our entire city. So thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Krause.
Councilors, the next item on our agenda is official communications. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, you are hereby notified that regular meetings of the City County Council, Police, Fire, and Solid Waste Collection Special Service District Councils will be held in the City County Building in the Council Chambers on Monday, May 2nd, 2022 at 7:00 p.m. The purposes of such meetings being to conduct any and all business that may properly come before regular meetings of the councils. Sincerely, Bob Osley, President, City County Council. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana, I cause to be published in the Court and Commercial Record and in the Indianapolis Star on Friday, April 22nd, 2022, a copy of a notice of public hearing on proposal number 127, 2022, said hearing to be held on Monday, May 2nd, 2022, at 7:00 p.m. in the Public Assembly Room of the City County Building. Respectfully, Sarita Hughes, Clerk of the City County Council. Ladies and gentlemen, I have approved with my signature and delivered this day to the Clerk of the City County Council, Sarita Hughes, the following ordinances: Fiscal Ordinance numbers 3 through 5, General Ordinance numbers 11 through 16, Special Ordinance numbers 3 and 4, General Resolution numbers 9 through 16, Special Resolution numbers 11 and 12. Joseph H. Hogsett, Mayor. Mr. President, this concludes the official communications.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The next item on our agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Do I have consent? The next item on our agenda is approval of journals for April the 4th, 2022. Do I have consent? We'll now proceed to presentation of petitions, memorials, and special resolutions. And this first item on our agenda is proposal number 183, which recognizes the 2022 Beech Grove High School boys basketball team for winning the 3A state championship.
While we're waiting for the team to approach, Mr. President, we just want to express how proud we were for Beech Grove to represent the city of Indianapolis in the state tournament and bring home that championship for the city. You guys can come on up here and come around. Circle around us. Congratulations. All right. Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight we're going to have a special resolution recognizing the 2022 Beech Grove High School boys basketball team for winning the 3A state championship. Whereas Beech Grove won the 3A state championship at the IHSAA Basketball State Finals held at Gamebridge Fieldhouse on March 26, 2022, this is the first time Beech Grove boys have won a state championship in any sport. And whereas Beech Grove defeated Mishawaka Marion High School 53-43 to take home the title of the 2022 Class 3A Basketball State Championship, with the Hornets closing the game on a 17-9 run.
Whereas the Hornets went 7-0 in the conference, winning the margin of 27 points per game. They also won 4 sectionals in a row. Whereas the team members, including Adrian Holland, Cam Brown, Jalene Edwards, Jeremiah Tate, Jeremiah Alexander, Damon Tompkins, Anthony Ball, Skylar Thacker, Connor Horsley, Ryan Horn, DeMonte Henderson, and Logan Muffler. And the team was led by Coach Mike Renfro. And whereas we are grateful and be honored that the Beech Grove Hornets basketball team represented Marion County in the state championship, even more excited, they brought this home to 3A championship school entitled, therefore.
Be it resolved by the City County Council of the City of Indianapolis and of Marion County, Indiana, that Section 1, the Indianapolis City County Council recognizes the 2022 Beech Grove High School boys basketball team for winning the 3A state championship. Section 2, the council extends its congratulations to the team on their achievement and wishes them success in future endeavors, both athletically and academically.
And now the mayor is invited to join this resolution by affixing his signature hitherto. This resolution shall be in full force and effect upon the adoption with the compliance IC 36-3-4-14. Mr. President, I so move.
Motion has been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by nay. Motion carries. Back to the speakers.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had the great honor of being in presence when Mike Renfro played basketball. He's the highest scoring basketball player ever from Beech Grove High School. I want to say 1,850 points. Is that correct? That's correct. With that, I'd like to give you Mr. Renfro, coach.
Thanks, Frank. I appreciate it. On behalf of myself, Beech Grove, and the coaches and boys basketball team, we're honored to be here, obviously. It's been a whirlwind of events. It's been nothing short of fun, for sure. We've had a great time along the way, and we really appreciate everybody's support here. Kind of cool, too, just a real quick story, and I'll get out of here. The legendary Jack Kiefer sitting over here in the front row. I remember Coach. I was playing back in '95, and the first time I ever saw Coach Kiefer, he was obviously the coach at Lawrence North. And I had one of my great games against him. I had 42 points, but they still kicked our butt. So congratulations to you, Coach Kiefer, and we appreciate everybody here, and thank you very much.
Mr. President, we're going to invite one of the players to come up and say a few words on behalf of the team.
One of our seniors.
One of the seniors.
Thanks for having us. Just speak your heart, buddy.
On behalf of the basketball team, we would like to thank y'all for letting us come out here and giving us the support. And yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You have 3 copies. Yes, sir. All right, pleasure.
All right, the next item on our agenda is proposal number 184, which recognizes the legendary Lawrence North High School basketball coach, Jack Kiefer.
Guys, come on up. Son, you don't want to come up?
Yes, sir. Allie
Brown. That's a great, behind every great man is a great woman. I'm honored to do this special resolution tonight with my colleagues as an alumni of Lawrence North High School. I will not tell my age. Here with me, and then my colleagues are also going to read. The City County Council tonight presents special resolution number 14, 2022, a special resolution recognizing the legendary high school basketball coach, no other than Jack Kiefer. Whereas Coach Jack Kiefer, the Dean of Marion County Coaches, began his varsity coaching career with the Lawrence North Wildcats in 1976, Go Wildcats, has been the only varsity basketball coach in Lawrence North's history. And whereas Jack Kiefer was born in Marion, Indiana, and has his undergraduate degree from Ball State University. He obtained his master's degree at Indiana University, another alumni here, and a graduate degree in the School of Administration from Ball State. And whereas, we're going to let Allie go first. She's on a counselor.
Where is it? Where, this one? Okay. Whereas Kiefer was 32 when he was hired at Lawrence North. The Wildcats quickly became a winning team under Kiefer, who won his first sectional title for the school in 1985. The 1989 team, led by the 7-foot Eric Montross and Indiana All-Star Todd Leary, knocked off Kokomo to win the state championship at Market Square Arena. And whereas Coach Kiefer coached 17 Indiana All-Stars during his tenure at Lawrence North, including 2006 Indy star Mr. Basketball Greg Oden, and three top 10 NBA draft picks in Eric Montross, Oden, and Mike Conley. Coach Kiefer was inducted into the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame in 2007. And we take our basketball seats.
Yes, we do. Whereas Kiefer is the second all-time winningest coach in the history of the state with an overall record of 865 wins and 338 losses. He went 804 to 312 in his 46 seasons at Lawrence North, winning state championships in 1989, 2004, 2005, and 2006. The Wildcats made another state finals appearance in 2021 and would have been one of the favorites to make a run to the state finals in 2020 prior to the pandemic ending the tournament. And whereas among his accomplishments, Coach Kiefer won 4 state championships, 7 regional titles, 19 sectional championships, 3 Hall of Fame tournament championships, 7 Central Suburban Athletic Conference championships, 10 Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference championships, and 10 Marion County Tournament championships. And
whereas Kiefer represents Lawrence excellence and he values the students and families that we serve, Lawrence North Principal Brett Krause said his longstanding dedication to helping young people better themselves through his guidance will be a major part of his legacy. And whereas Coach Kiefer announced his retirement after 50 years in coaching, including 46 at Lawrence North. And
whereas Coach Kiefer and his wife Jan are looking forward to traveling and spending more time with family on their Brown County property. Now, therefore,
be it resolved by the City County Council of the City of Indianapolis, Marion County, Section 1, the Indianapolis City County Council proudly recognizes and appreciates the legendary Lawrence North High School basketball coach Jack Kiefer for his long-lasting positive impact on students and faculty at Lawrence North and the community. Section 2, the council heartily wishes Coach Kiefer a long and enjoyable retirement. Section 3, the mayor is invited to join in this resolution by affixing his signature hereto, and he has. Section 4, the resolution shall be in full force and effect upon adoption and compliance with IC 36-3-4-14. This special resolution was sponsored by Councilors Jackson, Councilor Alley, Brown, Councilor Booth, and Councilor Evans, and was passed by the City County Councilors this second day of May 22nd, 2022. Mr. President, I so move.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, signify by nay. Motion carries. Back to the speakers.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. May I have a moment to let the guests say a few words?
Oh, please.
We're going to start with the athletic director, then the principal, and then our honoree, Mr. Kiefer himself. Thank you.
Councilor Jackson, thank you. City County Council, thank you very much for this recognition for our coach of 46 years. My name is Mike Penrose. I am proud to serve as the athletic director at Lawrence North High School. Since the doors opened in 1976, this man has set the standard in the northeast side of Marion County in terms of not only basketball, but what he has done for young men. We heard about Mike Conley and Greg Oden and Eric Montross, but what we don't hear and don't see is the number of kids that the young men that this coach has helped along the way and provided opportunities to get a college education where they would not otherwise have that opportunity to do so. He's affected hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of young men. Moreover, he has done it in a way where he has been a credit to his community. He understands the idea of education-based athletics, and he has done it in a humble way for somebody who has had his success.
I ditto all those comments. My name's Brett Krause, and I have the honor of serving as principal at Lawrence North High School, and he is a mentor to many of us in the field of education. As we begin to mentor others who will take after in our schools, it is Jack Kiefer who we need to model, a person who not only respects students in the hallways, on the court, but in life. And so, Coach Kiefer, thank you, thank you, thank you as an alumni. Thank you to all the alumni here tonight of the Wildcats, and we're very excited what we get to do at Lawrence North High School each and every day.
Okay, guys, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I'm telling you, it takes people like you to make this whole place go, and we're just part of it. And we've got our representative here. I'm going to have to talk to her, though, because we're red, white, and blue. Excuse me, we're red, white, and green. I got a blue girl here that reminds me of Carmel too much. Yeah, I don't know, but she's done a great job for us. And this man here I taught with for a while, Robertson there, didn't I? He was at Fall Creek, weren't you, when you were a young man? Yeah. So I'm sure he's got it all right for you, doesn't he, being the next teacher, right? But thanks for having us. And this man right here, how many of you were wrestlers at one time in your life? He won three state champs as a wrestling coach. You know, he's been down the road. He's probably been here before with you. But we've had a great time. We've had it. I like the journey more than anything. I took the journey with my wife and my son. And I have another son, and he took the journey with us also. And we've just had so much fun. Jan would feed them every Sunday that before a big tournament, and they still come back. And I don't know, one time I think she jarred the sauce, or she put it in a jar, the sauce that we put on the spaghetti, because they all wanted a little bit of it to take home to their wives at that time. They're old men now. they're no longer the kid I coached in 1976. So, but we've had that journey, and we've really enjoyed it. And I've been so fortunate to work with so many good principals, athletic directors, and superintendents. They're all excellent right now, and they've treated me so kind. You don't realize what's going on until you retire, and then people come up and they really love you. You know, they kind of forget you didn't play that kid one night or something. But I've been treated so nicely. I was pleased when my assistant coach got the job, and he'll carry on quite well, and we'll be quite happy with it. But thanks for having us, and thanks for doing the job you guys do. And thank you, my dear.
Thank you, sir.
Wildcat. All right. I'm not picking on you.
Oh, no. I had green hair up until yesterday, and then I went blue, so. Thank you, sir.
Councilors, the next item on our agenda is proposal number 185, which recognizes Public Service Recognition Week by celebrating and thanking all public servants at the local, state, and federal levels who exemplify dedication and commitment to the service of their fellow citizens for their common good and welfare.
I'm the only one who didn't wear heels, so
Thank you, Mr. President. As I'm sure you and all of our colleagues recognize, you know, there's a lot of things that we can do as city, county, council people, but without the public servants that are a part of the city of Indianapolis, Marion County, along with all the other public servants out there, things would not be able to happen in this city, state, or country. So with that, we present a special resolution recognizing Public Service Recognition Week by celebrating and thanking all public servants at the local, state, and federal levels who exemplify dedication and commitment to the service of their fellow citizens for their common good and welfare. Whereas,
Public Service Recognition Week has been celebrated nationally during the first week of May since 1985 to honor the people who serve as federal, state, and local government employees and as members of the uniformed services. And whereas,
our dedicated public servants have shown unprecedented resiliency in the last couple of years, rising to the challenges caused by a global pandemic, bringing strength, help, hope, and healing to their communities. And whereas,
Whereas public servants represent our frontline workers, educators, researchers, innovators, first responders, election officials, health and safety workers, skilled tradesmen, military service members, and countless others who are ordinary citizens who answer the call to do extraordinary things, giving their time, talents, and in some cases even their lives to provide a better quality of life for all. And
whereas Public Service Recognition Week provides an opportunity to recognize and promote the significant contributions of these public servants toward the general welfare of our city, and to honor the diverse, knowledgeable, and highly trained men and women who meet the needs of our community. And
whereas public service is a noble calling, and the ability of government to be responsive, innovative, and effective depends on the outstanding performance of dedicated public servants who offer up expertise and cutting-edge ideas, serving as examples and passing on institutional knowledge to train the next generation of public servants. And
whereas the city strives to continuously improve our public workforce, we recognize and celebrate the indispensable contributions our public servants make while protecting our communities, taking care of our neighbors, and helping us heal and grow. And whereas the city is experiencing a shortage of public servants across multiple departments and agencies, and we recognize the need to be more ambitious in our ability to attract applicants. Now, therefore,
be it resolved by the City County Council of the City of Indianapolis and of Marion County, Indiana. Section 1, the Indianapolis City County Council proudly recognizes May 1st through the 7th, 2022 as Public Service Recognition Week, and expresses its deep gratitude for the selfless and tireless dedicated service of local, state, and federal government employees and members of the uniformed services. Section 2, the Council calls upon the Indianapolis community to celebrate local public servants and their contributions this week and throughout the year, and to do their part to ensure that these individuals are honored and protected. Section 3, the Council further calls upon the next generation of residents from Indianapolis, Marion County, and beyond to consider a career in public service as an honorable profession, encourages efforts to promote public service careers at every level of government, and supports efforts to promote an efficient and effective public service that serves the people of Indianapolis. Section 4, the mayor is invited to join in this resolution by affixing his signature hereto, and he has. Section 5, this resolution shall be in full force and effect upon adoption and compliance with IC 363414. This special resolution was sponsored by Councilors Larison, Adamson, Ane, Barth, Boots, Brown, Carlino, Gray, Hart, Jackson, Oliver, and Potts, and was passed by the City County Council this 10th day of January. Nope, that's not right. 10th. We'll have to. What is today's day? 2nd of May. This 2nd day of May, 2022. Mr. President, I so move.
Second.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by nay. Motion carries. Back to the speakers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Time machine aside here, I do want to, again, recognize there are numerous public servants here, both from our council staff and others from the administration and elsewhere, that we want to recognize all of you. And thank you for your service. I also want to recognize Steve Quick, president of AFSCME Local 725. Please mark this moment. I offered to him earlier to give some words, and he said, I'm okay. Yeah. So, Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you very much. The next item on our agenda is proposal number 186, which recognizes National Crime Victims' Rights Week, April 24th through the 30th, 2022.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is City County Special Resolution number 16, a special resolution recognizing National Crime Victims' Rights Week, April 24th through 30th, 2022. Whereas Hoosiers across the entire state feel the effects of crime, and whereas whether they are a victim of a crime or a family member of someone who has been heavily affected by a crime, the repercussions can cause mental, emotional, relational, and physical damage. And whereas
Whereas becoming a victim of or being on the periphery of a crime can be intimidating, overwhelming, and traumatizing process. Victims often choose not to pursue charges because of the re-traumatization that occurs throughout the trial process. And whereas the Marion County Prosecutor's Office has the largest victim advocate unit in the state of Indiana to assist victims and their families throughout the criminal justice process and address their concerns and needs. And whereas victim advocates provide victims enduring the criminal justice process with encouragement, empathy, and comfort. They assist victims with necessary counseling and additional quality of life services. And whereas
Whereas victims of crime often do not report their victimization due to numerous barriers, including intimidation from their abusers and fear of. Whereas the Marion County Prosecutor's Office not only provides supportive services to victims with an active case, but not correct all community members regardless of their case status, the Prosecutor's Office wants to lessen the intimidation that is often paired with reporting a crime. Whereas the courage and strength of victims that have currently enduring the criminal justice process is moving. The healing process is not, but justice for the victim can also provide an immense amount of relief and closure for those affected by crimes. And healing process is not the linear, but justice for victims can provide an immense amount of relief and closure for those affected by crimes. And whereas
Whereas National Crime Victims' Right Week provides an opportunity for our community and service providers to recognize and honor those affected by crimes. We must ensure victims of past and present crimes have a voice and feel confident using it to share their stories. And whereas the Marion County Prosecutor's Office is proud to recognize National Crime Victims' Right Week 2022 and honored to serve our victims and survivors when dealing with the trauma of a crime. We will continue our dedicated service and commitment to serving diverse victim populations. Now, therefore,
be it resolved by the City County Council of the City of Indianapolis and of Marion County, Indiana. Section 1, the Indianapolis City County Council is proud to join with the Marion County Prosecutor's Office to recognize April 24th through the 30th, 2022 as National Crime Victims' Rights Week. Section 2, the Council encourages the Consolidated City of Indianapolis to serve and support those citizens in our community who have been affected by crime. This includes victims and survivors and their families and friends who are providing encouragement, empathy, and resources to help overcome the trauma and working with the various public safety and core agencies to put processes and programs in place to seek justice for victims and prevent further occurrences. This special resolution was sponsored by Council Osley and was passed by the City Council today, and I so move.
Motion has been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, signify by nay. Motion carries. Back to the Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. President. And here to speak on this proposal is our prosecutor, Ryan Mears.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. My name is Ryan Mears. I'm a Marion County prosecutor, and I can't help but notice, Councilor Graves, that we got a lot of hoopers in the building today. And so this is a little bit of a departure from the basketball theme, but I did just want to recognize Linda Krashan, Clarissa Patton, and Lindsay Corbett from our office, who are victim advocates who work on the front lines each and every single day to help people who are dealing with tremendous trauma And I also wanted to thank our council president, as well as Councilor Robinson, who's chair of the Public Safety Committee, and all the councilors on that committee who are always willing to hear us out to talk about resources so we can best serve the needs of our community, as well as the victims that we encounter each and every single day. It's a total team effort, and the council's been a wonderful support to us and allowed our victim advocates to provide tremendous opportunities and services to our victims. And as we emphasized last week, just because a case has been resolved does not mean that's the end of the struggle for our victims. They continue to need support. They continue to need to have access to resources, and we always are grateful for the conversations we're able to have with the council on those issues. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is proposal number 187, which recognizes the Indianapolis Animal Care Services staff and volunteers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Anybody else? This is City County Special Resolution number 17, a special resolution recognizing the Indianapolis Animal Care Services staff and volunteers. Whereas Indianapolis Animal Care Services, also known as IACS, protects and promotes the health, safety, and welfare of pets and livestock in Marion County by advocating for animal welfare, adoption, and rescue. And whereas IACS has several partners and programs to help the Marion County pet owners keep and care for their pets, such as Indy Cares, Fido, FACE, Friends of Indianapolis Animal Care Services Foundation, and Indy Neighborhood Cats. And whereas
IACS volunteers have logged over 30,000 hours assisting IACS since May 2021. However, this noble work has not been enough to keep up with the state of animal welfare in Marion County. And whereas working in animal welfare has always been both physically and emotionally difficult, since February, IACS has remained under emergency intake status as a result of staffing shortages and lack of kennel space. And
whereas staff and volunteers have gone above the call of duty by taking additional shifts, working longer hours, and absorbing extra job duties. Staff and volunteers report morale is at an all-time low due to burnout and emotional stress. And whereas IACS is in critical need of animal control officers, animal care technicians, veterinary assistants, and kennel supervisors. Volunteers and fosters are also desperately needed to support the dedicated staff and volunteers. And whereas
we encourage all Marion County neighbors to visit the IACS shelter and adopt a new pet for free, donate their time or resources, and spread the word about the great need for support at IACS. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City County Council of the City of Indianapolis and of Marion County, Indiana. Section 1, the Indianapolis City County Council recognizes the entire IACS staff and the selfless volunteers who make this city a better place for our animals. Section 2, the council extends its appreciation and gratitude for the resilience of IACS when faced with hardship. Section 3, the mayor is invited to join in this resolution by affixing his signature here too, and he has. In Section 4, this resolution shall be in full force and effect upon adoption in compliance with IC 363414. This special resolution was sponsored by Councilors Barth, Adamson, Larison, and Brown, and was passed by the City County Council the second day of May 2022. Mr. President, I so move.
Second.
The motion's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by nay. The motion carries. Back to the speaker.
Thank you, Mr. President. And again, I cannot stress enough for those of you who are watching at home to, if you have any desire to help animals in Marion County, to volunteer your time at Animal Care Services. And here to speak about the facility and all that goes on there is the director, Katie Trenpel.
Thank you. I'm Katie Trunapple. I'm the Deputy Director for Animal Care Services, and I just want to thank all of you for your ongoing support, but especially those of you who have reached out in the last couple of months. Things have been especially difficult at the shelter. Our animal care staff is currently 60% vacant, which means we have 40% of the staff to care for the animals that are still coming in, and that work doesn't stop just because we don't have the people. So those staff members and volunteers are working tirelessly, picking up extra shifts. Our volunteers are working, over 1,000 hours a month at the shelter, and we simply could not function without volunteers at this point. So thank you to all of you. I would encourage all of you that have not been out to the shelter to come out and visit us and see what goes on at the city shelter. And just thank you for the support.
Thanks. And again, thank you to all the volunteers who are currently there and who have been there throughout the years. Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is proposal number 203, which recognizes May as National Tennis Month.
Mr. President?
Mr. Vice President.
Mr. President, I would move to amend proposal number 203, a special resolution recognizing May as National Tennis Month, by substituting the language in its entirety to read as a special resolution recognizing Angela Plank and her service to the Indianapolis City County Council. Councilors should have already received a copy of the substitute language prior to the meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have consent? Very good.
She's emotional. Thank you, Mr. President. This is City County Special Resolution number 18, 2022. A very special resolution, as you can see, recognizing Angela Plank and her service to the Indianapolis City County Council. Whereas, since December 2017, Ms. Plank has served the City County Council through both exciting and challenging times of change in the history of Marion County, including the most recent challenges we faced together in a global pandemic. And whereas
during this time, Ms. Plank has exceeded the call of her office by leading various policy initiatives for the council, including steering the planning team for the city's membership in the Government Alliance on Race and Equity, and expanding the councilor's communication and public engagement strategies. And whereas
Ms. Plank wrote countless speeches, talking points, and memos for councilors for their many varied council-related speaking engagements, policy proposals, and public speaking initiatives. And
whereas, as a proud mother to Haley and dog mom to Lucy, Ms. Plank is sure to enjoy her additional evening flexibility with her loved ones upon ending her role in public service. And whereas
Ms. Plank will be continuing her many years of public relations services in the beloved city and in new and exciting ways, but never be too far away from councilors or the council staff to lean on her expertise. Now, therefore,
be it resolved by the City County Council of the City of Indianapolis and of Marion County, Indiana, Section 1, the Indianapolis City County Council congratulates Angela Plank on her years of service to the City County Council and the citizens of Indianapolis. And Section 2, the City Council wishes to continued success to Ms. Plank and her future endeavors in the service to the community. Section 3, the mayor is included to affix his signature here too. And Mr. President, I so move.
Second. Motion's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by nay. Motion carries. Back to the speakers.
Thank you, Mr. President, and that was a resounding aye there. You can see how important this was a new position that we had created, and you fit that role to a T. And we could not have done what we have done and what we have been through without you there with us the whole way. So thank you. Would you like to say a few words?
I'm beyond surprised.
I don't know what to say. I like to think that I sort of have a feel for what's going on in the council office, but I clearly don't. I said to some of our staff earlier today that when I took this job, I finally felt like I found my nerds. It has been a privilege. It's not, public service is not for everyone, and it's not for the faint of heart, but I'm grateful too. Thank you, Leader Lewis, for first of all having given me the opportunity. I'm grateful to President Osley for making me a part of the team, and to Brandon and TK and all my coworkers and all of you, really. It's been the honor of a lifetime. Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is proposal number 204, which recognizes past and present women councilors of the Indianapolis Marion County City County Council.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is our honor to present this special resolution recognizing past and present women councilors of the Indianapolis City County Council.
Whereas on January 16, 1920, the Indiana General Assembly ratified the 19th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, granting women the right to vote, which was later ratified by Congress on August 18, 1920. However, it was not until a special state election in September 1921 that Indiana women were actually granted the right to vote at the state level. And whereas after the establishment of Unigov, which combined city government with county government in 1970, the first women elected of the Indianapolis Marion County City County Council were Beverly Miller, a Republican, and Artea Noel Chandler, Democrat, in 1972. And whereas
to date, 43 women, which include 22 Democrats and 21 Republicans, have been elected to serve on the council since its establishment. And whereas these honorable women include Beverly Miller, Artricia Noel Chandler, Lula M. Journey, Beulah A. Conager, Joyce Brinkman, Betty Stewart Ruhmkorff, Patricia McNeil, Amy S. Bradley, Susan Williams, Beverly Muxgater, Mary Moriarty Adams, Diana V. Schrader, Z. Mae Jemison, Maggie Brentz, Linda Beating, Tommy Jones, Marilyn Moores, Joanne Sanders, Jackie Needis, Lynn McWhirter, Karen Celestino Horseman, Angela Mansfield, Becky Langsford, Marilyn Feasterer, Christine Scales, Janice McHenry, Maggie Lewis, Lakeisha Jackson, Colleen Fanning, Susie McCourty, Danielle Coulter, Allie Brown, Krista Carlino, Kristen Jones, and Jessica McCormick. And now, therefore, oh, I'm sorry, forgive me. Forgive me, I skipped the whole line, please. There's two Marilyns, Marilyn Sharon Franklin, N. Susie Day, Virginia Jenny Kane, Cherish Pryor, Doris Mitten McNeil, Barbara Malone, Pamela Hickman. Forgive me on that. That was a really hard typo. Okay.
Be it resolved by the City County Council of the City of Indianapolis and Marion County, Indiana, Section 1, the Indianapolis City County Council proudly recognizes past and present women counselors of the Indianapolis, Marion County City County Council.
Section 2, the council wholeheartedly thanks all former and current women counselors for their dedicated service to the city and the county. Section 3, in respect for and in honor of the life and legacy of former counselor Mary Moriarty Adams, the council reveres her 28 years of devoted service as a member of the council, as well as her lifelong dedication to public service to the citizens of Indianapolis and Marion County.
Section 4. The mayor is invited to join in this resolution by affixing his signature hereto. Section 5. This resolution shall be in full force and effect upon adoption and compliance with IC 36-3-4-14. This special resolution was sponsored by Councilor Lewis, Brown, Carlino, Jackson, Jones, and McCormick. Mr. President, I so move.
Second.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by nay. Motion carries. Back to the speakers.
Thank you, Mr. President. With your permission, I would like to invite the councilors up to say a few words.
Absolutely, please.
Starting with Madam Leader. Are you still Madam Leader? Yeah, yes, you are. Joanne Sanders.
Depending on what sound I
Right.
Thank you all. This is deja vu all over again. It seems like I never left. But I wanted to make 2 points this evening. First and foremost, I want to thank my sisters on the council currently for doing this. But I also want to point out that although most of us got the vote in the state of Indiana in 1921, the very sisters who stand here with us tonight did not get it for another 35 to 40 years. Yet they're here celebrating with us for this 102nd anniversary. They were left out of the room. They stood with us when we were fighting for this vote, but they were left out of the room and then later left without access to the vote. So we owe them a debt of gratitude going forward. Secondly, I want to point out that if you look at this group, we represent almost half the population of this city. This is the number +1 that should be sitting with y'all to be representative of the true community that we live in. So I suggest that we all think about that next year as our counselors are running again, and we think about how we can increase the number of women. Because when women are here, women speak on behalf of families. That's not to say that men don't, but they make priorities that sometimes men do not. So I appreciate everything that y'all do, and thank you for having us here this evening.
Thank you, Madam Leader. Good afternoon, members of the council. Madam Leader, members of the council, it is indeed my pleasure to stand before you tonight. I know and I believe in my heart that our ancestors are smiling down on us tonight. Women have come a long. This is the epitome of we come a long ways, baby, for women in this world right now. And I just want to thank you for being a part of this presentation. I want to thank Madam Leader, and just to know the thought that women did not have the right to vote. That, you know, that just didn't sit well with me when I got the call from the counselor to say they wanted us to be here tonight, and I felt strongly, and you all know this is a busy night for us, but I felt strongly enough that we needed to be here tonight to support this resolution, because any time that we can make a way for women to be able to persevere, we have certainly come a long way. And with that said, I would like to introduce a couple of people who came here with me tonight. Once I shared this information with them, they also felt strongly to be here tonight. I have a community leader, community advocate, one just left, which is Annette Bankhead is still here. And then I have she's here. Then I have the sophisticated diva herself, Sherry Scott is here. And then most importantly, for all of us, our very own Madam Clerk, Myla Eldridge, is here tonight. She felt strongly enough to be here. So I just want to thank you guys. This is something awesome. I knew this was supposed to be done in 2020. So for you to do this today, it is a pleasure and a privilege for me to stand before you. So I thank you, members of the council.
Hear, hear.
Thank you very much, members of the council, for the opportunity to bring us back this evening. I know I speak on behalf of all of us who had the great opportunity to serve, that it was a blessing and a true honor. As we think about the remarks that have been made and the importance of continuing to encourage women to seek this opportunity, to not hesitate, to not wonder for a moment if they're good enough for this work or whatever. You, as fathers and uncles and grandfathers, have a wonderful opportunity ahead of you to encourage the women in your circles, the women in your family, your church, your workplace, to feel that they also can step out and they can be a leader in our communities as well. Because it's when we encourage each other that we get a chance to grow. And this room should look like the city of Indianapolis every single time there's a meeting in it. So thank you for all that you do, and thank you for welcoming us back this evening.
Just to wrap it up for everyone, the amount of women that we have sitting on the council right now is a historic amount, 6. That's 15% of all the women who have ever served on this council. It's 15% of all the women who have served on this council are serving right now. That says something. We stand on the backs of giants, not just the women who are here today and the women who came before us, but the millions of women whose history was never written, who never had a chance to speak up, who never had a chance to fight back, and if they did, never had the validation that we've gotten. When women decide they want to run for office, it is a much harder decision than men make. Not because we have different pressures, but because of the pressures that are put down upon us from the outside. It takes 7 times on average asking a woman to run for office for her to say yes. Men, it's once or twice. When we talk about issues that involve women or women's issues, these are issues that involve all of us. But I want to challenge you as to why no one has asked about the fact that we only have one changing table in this 26-story building before I got here. Or why women who are on jury duty are asked to do lactation in the bathrooms. So we need to encourage women to run for office because we see things that men don't. We need to encourage women of color to run for office. We need to encourage younger women to run for office. We need to make this job a job that women can seek. When the average cost of childcare in the city is $18,000 a year, how can a woman justify running for office on an $11,000 council salary? To have when the majority of our households in my district and most of our districts are headed by single mothers, how can we ask one of those single mothers to give up her time and without the support of this council? So I just want to go forward, and I know my male colleagues are amazing. This is not an all-men moment. This is a moment to reflect and think about what doors you were able to open while we're still pushing on that glass ceiling. Thank you.
Thank you, councilors.
Thank you to our big brothers. Thank you.
Soon they'll do the real work.
Thank you, councilors. Next item on the agenda is proposal number 123, referred to Administration and Finance Committee. Chairman Mascari.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal 1233 passed out, appoints Terry Morris to Information Technology Board. It passed out of committee 5-4. It was brought up that Mr. Morris did not live in Marion County, but this particular position, you did not have to live in Marion County. I so move. Thank you.
Motion has been properly moved and seconded. Other comments from councilors? Right. Seeing none, let's proceed to the board for our vote. The motion carries 20-5. The next item on our agenda is proposal number 126, referred to Administration and Finance Committee. Chairman Mascari.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal 126 appoints Whitney Yates to the Equal Opportunity Advisory Board. It passed out of committee 9-0. I so move.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? All right. Seeing none, let's proceed to the board for our vote. Motion carries 25-0. The next item on the agenda is proposal number 128, referred to Metropolitan and Economic Development Committee. Chairwoman Lewis.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, proposal number 128 isn't on my minutes, so hold 1 second. Let's see what happened. Yep. So proposal number 128 appoints Mr. Mintz to the City Market Corporation Board of Directors. Mr. Mintz, president of the Anthem Foundation, stated he wants to lend his skill sets to the evolving landscape at the city market. The proposal passed out of committee by a vote of 9-2. Mr. President, I so move.
Motions are properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? Right, seeing none, let's proceed to the board for our vote. Motion carries 20-5. The next item on our agenda is proposal number 129, referred to Metropolitan Economic Development Committee. Chairwoman Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal number 129 appoints Mr. Brett to the Board of Business and Neighborhood Services. Mr. Brett, president and CEO of the Edna Martin Christian Center, stated that he looks forward to joining this board to enhance his skill set in community development. The proposal passed out of committee by a vote of 9-0. Mr. President, I so move.
Motions are properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? Right, seeing none, let's proceed to the board for our vote. Motion carries 25-0. The next item on the agenda is proposal number 132, referred to Parks and Recreation Committee. Chairman Oliver.
Yes. Mr. President, can 132, 133 be taken together with consent?
Consent.
Okay. Mr. President, proposal number 132, wish to reappoint Mr. Larry Beech to the Board of Parks and Recreation. The do pass vote of 8-0. Proposal number 133, wish to reappoint Mr. Joseph Williams to the Board of Parks and Recreation with a do pass vote of 8-0. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? Right, seeing none, let's proceed to the board for our vote. All right, just to keep it all clear, I think you read, did you read the digest? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Reappoint number 132, reappoint Mr. Larry Bates to the Board of Park and Recreation is due pass a vote 8-0. Proposal number 133, which reappoints Mr. Joseph Wynn to the Board of Park and Recreation. That was by the vote of 8-0. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, I think we're going to try and take those together. 132 and 133. So if you can open the board one more time, please, just so that we're all clear. Very good. All right, councilors. All right, motion carries 25-0. The next item on the agenda is proposal number 135, referred to Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee. Chairman Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal 135, 2022 appoints Fred Purvine to the Emergency Services Agency Board. Passed out of committee on 4/13/2022 with a due pass recommendation. Mr. President, I so move.
All right, motion's been properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? All right, seeing none, let's proceed to the board for our vote. Motion carries 25-0. The next item on our agenda is proposal number 136, referred to Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee. Chairman Robinson.
Apologies, Mr. President, I should have taken those together. Proposal 136, 2022 appoints Patrice Abdullah to the Citizens Police Complaint Board. Proposal passed out of committee on 4/13/2022 with a due pass recommendation 10-0. Mr. President, I so move.
Motion's been properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? All right, seeing none, let's proceed to the board for our vote. Motion carries 25-0. The next item on our agenda is the introduction of proposals. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal numbers 165, 167 through 169 refer to the Metropolitan and Economic Development Committee. Proposal number 165, introduced by Councilor Osley, nominates Joe Perrin to the Speedway Economic Development Commission. Proposal number 167, introduced by Councilor Potts, approves a declaratory resolution and economic development plan and declares the area to be designated as a new TIF allocation area known as Shorty's Real Street Allocation Area. Proposal number 168, introduced by Councilor Potts, authorizes the issuance of economic development tax increment revenue bonds for BC Real Street Partners LLC in a maximum aggregate principal amount not to exceed $8 million for the purpose of providing funds to pay the cost of public improvements in connection with the Shorty's Real Street Development Project, consisting of 2-story single-family homes, 3-story townhomes with garages, 3-story garden-style apartment buildings with garages and parking, clubhouse with amenities that include a pool and a park, and multi-use trail that connects to the Monad Trail with all related public infrastructure located at 1775 Real Street in District 2. Proposal number 169, introduced by Councilor Osley, nominates Mark Young for the appointment of the Economic Development Commission. Proposal number 170, introduced by Councilor Mowry, referred to the Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee, appoints Abdul Hakim Shabazz to the Marion County Public Defender Board. Proposal numbers 172 through 174 refer to the Public Works Committee. Proposal number 172, introduced by Councilor Bain, authorizes a speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour in the River Run Copeland Mills Estates Old Mill Park, Park View, Oak Trace, Crossfield, High Acre Manor, and Roberts Creek subdivisions in District 20. Proposal number 173, introduced by Councilor E. Evans, authorizes speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour in the Copperfield, Pine Springs, Eagle Nest, Castleton Estates, Hunters Woods, Yorkshire, Castle Cove, Shadow Ridge, Shadeland Station, Scarborough Village, Fairwood Hills, and Castilla subdivisions in District 4. Proposal number 174, introduced by Councilor Mascari, authorizes weight limit restrictions on residential streets surrounding Garfield Park South due to a planned bridge construction project in District 21. Proposal number 175 through 182 refer to the Rules and Public Policy Committee. Proposal number 175, introduced by Councilors Barth, Lewis, Larison, Adamson, and Boots, amends the complete street policy in Chapter 431 of Article 8, of the revised codes. Proposal number 176, introduced by Councilor Osley, confirms the mayor's appointment nomination of Charles Bush II to the Ethics Commission. Proposal number 177, introduced by Councilor Osley, confirms the mayor's appointment nomination of Paige Phelps to the Ethics Commission. Proposal number 178, introduced by Councilor Osley, confirms the mayor's appointment nomination of Shane Hatchett to the Ethics Commission. Proposal number 179, introduced by Councilor Osley, confirms the mayor's appointment nomination of Christopher McElwee to the Ethics Commission. Proposal number 180, introduced by Councilor Osley, renews the Marion County Health Department's Safe Syringe Access and Support Program by adopting the declaration of the Director of Marion County Public Health Department and approving the Safe Syringe Access and Support Program. Proposal number 181, introduced by Councilors Osley, Adamson, and Lewis, amends Chapter 192 of the Code regarding compensation of elected officials. Proposal number 182, introduced by Councilor E. Evans, establishes a redistricting advisory committee. Proposal number 188, introduced by Councilor Osley, referred to the Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee, appoints Mariah Jones Overby to the Citizens Police Complaint Board. Proposal numbers 200 and 201 refer to the Metropolitan and Economic Development Committee. Proposal number 200, introduced by Councilor Osley, appoints Anthony Bridgman to the Metropolitan Board of Zoning Appeals Division 1. Proposal number 201, introduced by Councilors Osley and Lewis, amends Chapter 115, Article 3 of the Code regarding the Central Indiana Redevelopment Authority. Proposal number 202, introduced by Councilor Mowry, referred to the Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee, appoints Matthew Dotson to the Marion County Public Defender Board. Mr. President, this concludes the introductions.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The next item on our agenda is special orders priority business. Proposal numbers 189 through 198 are all rezoning ordinances certified to the Council for approval by the Metropolitan Development Commission in April 2022. If no councilor wishes to call down any of these proposals for reconsideration, they will pass into law. Does anyone wish to call down any of the proposals for reconsideration? All right, seeing none, proposal numbers 189 through 198, 2002 will now pass into law. Proposal number 199, 2022 is a rezoning ordinance certified for denial by the Metropolitan Development Commission on April 21st, 2022. If no councilor wishes to call down the proposal for reconsideration, the action of the MDC will stand as denied. Does anyone wish to call down the proposal for reconsideration? All right, seeing none, the proposal will stand as denied. The next item on the agenda is a special orders public hearing. And before we open the floor to public comments, I would like to call on General Counsel Kim to review the ground rules for public testimony as adopted by this body. Ms. Kim.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before we open the floor to public comments, we would like to remind council members and the public of a few ground rules. So everyone can have a fair chance to speak and be heard, it is important that we each observe the following rules. First, each speaker will be limited to 2 minutes. Second, any public comments must reasonably relate to the agenda item under consideration. Third, speakers who stray from the item under consideration or become unduly repetitious may be asked to move on to their next point or conclude their comments. Finally, attendees who cause disruptions that prevent the council from proceeding through tonight's agenda in a reasonably efficient manner will be removed. Please remember that some types of threatening speech or incitement to violence are not protected by the First Amendment at all. We will deal with those issues if they come up, but we don't think they will. And now, Mr. President, if a council member asks for consent to adopt these rules, we can proceed to public comments at the appropriate time.
Very good. All right, the next item on our agenda then is proposal number 127, referred to Administration and Finance Committee. Chairman Mascari.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal 127 approves an additional appropriation of $50,000 to the 2022 budget of the Marion County Auditor, Marion County General Fund, increasing public grant to the Marion County Fair Board and additional capital improvements needed in the fairground facilities. It's passed out of committee 9-0. I so move.
Motions are properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? All right, seeing none, is there anyone in the room who would like to comment on proposal 127? Very good. Seeing no one, let us proceed to the board for our vote. Motion carries 25-0. There's no business under special orders, unfinished business. We'll now proceed to special orders final adoption, and this next item on the agenda is proposal number 92, referred to Metropolitan and Economic Development Committee. Chairwoman Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal number 92 approves a declaratory resolution of the Metropolitan Development Commission, which established the King Cole Economic Development Area and approved a development plan for said area, establishing a new allocation area to allow for a 25-year tax increment fund financing for the proposal of the Moto Hotel project. A PowerPoint presentation was made making the key points. The plan is to build a boutique hotel to be built in the King Cole building. The request being made is for a $9.4 million tax TIF bond to cover the feasibility gap. This project is expected to generate more than $971 million in net spending, $312 million in net new earning, and 258 new full-time equivalent jobs. This project would support 474 construction-related jobs. The proposal passed out of committee by a vote of 9-0. Mr. President, I so move.
Motions are properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? Vice President Adamson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I did want to be added as a co-sponsor to this one.
Very good.
Thank you.
Any additional comments? Councilor Ethan Evans.
Thank you. I wanted to ask about the figures that were quoted. Was that over the 25-year span for the $971 million?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Very good. Any additional comments from councilors? All right, seeing none, let's proceed to the board for a vote. Motion carries 25-0. The next item on our agenda is proposal number 130, referred to Metropolitan and Economic Development Committee. Chairwoman Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal number 130 amends Chapter 741 of the Consolidated Zoning and Subdivision Ordinance concerning stormwater management to comply with Npdes permit. Shannon Norman, Principal Planner of Code Revision for the Department of Metropolitan Development, DMD, stated that the proposed amendments were asked for by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. Ms. Norman stated that the Department of Public Works is subject to auditing by the Indiana Department of Environment Management and the EPA. The EPA audit resulted in requested changes to the city's stormwater design and construction
Manual and Revised Code. Ms. Norman continued to say that the DPW has revised the code stormwater management plan in accordance to the request by the EPA. The proposal passed out of committee by a vote of 9-0. Mr. President, I so move.
Motion has been properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councillors? All right, seeing none, let's proceed to the board for a vote. Motion carries 25-0. The next item on our agenda is proposal number 131, referred to Metropolitan Economic Development Committee. Chairwoman Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal number 131 approves the issuance of a developer-backed TIF bond for Indy Prop Company LLC in a maximum aggregate I cannot speak, aggregate principal amount not to exceed $9.2 million for the proposed Moto Hotel project within the proposed King Cole Economic Development Allocation Area. The committee was notified that this proposal was linked to proposal number 92. The proposal passed out of committee by a vote of 9-0. Mr. President, I so move.
Motion has been properly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councillors? Councillor Ethan Evans.
Thank you, President Osley. I had a question about the original presentation. I wanted to know, was there maps showing when they would be doing the development, what other hotels were in the original area near 1 North Meridian to affect their calculations for the $971 million figure? Because I know that downtown has quite a few hotels currently, so I didn't know, like, is there someone from there that would be able to kind of like speak on how they got to those figures about like additional hotel in the area, where they'd be able to kind of add up going forward with more hotels adding in an influx of tourists coming in?
Is there anyone in the room from DMD?
Good evening. I'm Jerry Zeitner from the Geddes Group Companies, part of the development team. I'm sorry, I didn't exactly understand the question. Were you asking if we had looked at the other hotels that were coming onto market at the in the future as well?
Yes, like the ones in and around the Mile Square area, and how would they affect the calculations for how much revenue would be coming in, the revenue stream, and how many incoming guests would be coming into that area per se as other areas around that, so to speak. So would that affect the calculations going forward, the estimates?
When we look at the pro forma and the calculations we did for the entire project, we do look at proposed hotels coming into the market, not just in the 1 Mile Square area, but anything that would be close to us, but also in competition with us. So that is included in when we look at the financials on the project.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also would add that they do their data calculations with information from Visit Indy and the Tourism Board to determine some also events that would normally have come here if we had additional space in hotels and conventions and ballrooms and things like that. So there are even people that don't come here currently that will later when the capacity is expanded.
Very good. Additional comments from councillors? All right, seeing none, let's proceed to the board for a vote. Motion carries 25-0. The next item on our agenda is proposal number 157, referred to Rules and Public Policy Committee. Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. Proposal number 157, 2022, amends Chapter 152 of the revised code concerning council district boundaries. Chair Osley gave a brief statement regarding the redistricting process and then introduced Brandon Herget, Chief Financial Officer and Policy Director of the City County Council, who then gave a PowerPoint presentation detailing proposal number 157, 2022 and the redistricting process. Mr. Herget stated that council leadership has worked to maintain transparency from the beginning of this process. He stated that there were 9 in-person forums and 1 virtual forum for the purpose of public input in learning about the redistricting process. Mr. Herget introduced Greg Stowers, Director of Public Affairs for Ice Miller LLP, and Brian Christ, partner of Ice Miller LLP. Ice Miller was contracted by the council to provide legal services in connection with the redistricting process and has worked inside government and on the redistricting process in the past. Mr. Christ stated that the redistricting ordinance must comply with state statute, which has 3 criteria that guide the creation of maps. 1, districts should be compact and subject to natural and man-made boundaries to the extent possible. 2, districts, to the extent practical, should have equal population. And 3, districts shall not cross precinct boundary lines. Mr. Herget stated that they were also able to include additional data from public input, which has not been included in this process before. Chair Ostley opened the floor for councilors to ask questions and public testimony. Councilor Robinson moved, seconded by Councilor Brown, to send proposal number 157, 2022 to the full council with a due pass recommendation. The motion was carried by a vote of 8-2, with Councilors Gray and Hart casting the negative votes. I so move. Sorry.
All right, motions are improperly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? Councilor Ethan Evans.
Thank you, President Osley. I just want to have a comment regarding the process from beginning to where we are now, and a comment I had made at the previous meeting and the committee hearing where I did wish that we had had more time that was open to the public after the maps had come out, to which we would be open to public input and perhaps possible changes if there were enough public comments after they're in. However, given that there wasn't, I will then be a no vote tonight on that as well. So thank you.
All right, very good. Additional comments from councilors? All right, seeing none, let us proceed to the board for a vote. Motion carries 22-3. The next item on our agenda is proposal number 159, referred to Public Works Committee. Chairman Adamson.
Thank you, Mr. President. With consent, I'd like to take proposals number 159 through 164 together. Thank you. Proposal number 159, 2022, authorizes speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour in the Falcons Nest subdivision in District 10. Proposal number 60, 2022, authorizes speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour in the Arbor Woods subdivision in District 22. Proposal number 161 authorizes a speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour in the Shadow Wood and Victoria Wood subdivision in District 22. Proposal number 162 authorizes a speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour in the Woodlawn Gardens subdivision in District 16. Proposal number 163 authorizes speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour in the Brentwood Hills and Rose Manor subdivisions in District 23. And proposal number 164 authorizes speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour in the Craigwood subdivisions in District 23. Councilor Gray moved, seconded by Councilor Carlino, to send proposals 159 through 164, 2022 to the full council with a due pass recommendation, and that motion carried by a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Motions are improperly moved and seconded. Are there comments from councilors? All right, seeing none, let us proceed to the board for a vote. Motion carries 25-0. There is no business under special service district councils. There is no business under new business. So the next item on our agenda is announcements and adjournment. The docketed agenda for this meeting of the council having been completed, the chair will now entertain motions for adjournment.
I'd like to make an announcement.
Yes. Chairman Gray.
I would like to invite all the council people to my district, District 8, for the Soapbox Derby Hill. We're having our annual mayor's race on May 21st, on Saturday, starting at 8 o'clock. Come and watch the mayor race. He also will be racing maybe against the president of the council. We haven't quite got a consent yet, or got insurance to cover them. being that they are high profile. So come out. It's a lot of good time. We eat a lot of food, a lot of hot dogs, and everybody have a good time. Come out to the Soapbox Derby Hill on May 21st, Saturday.
Thank you very much. All right. Chairwoman Jackson.
Thank you. I am co-hosting my annual youth job fair for youth ages 15 and up. Older adults too, all the way up to ages 30 plus, if you're looking for employment and resources, not just employment, and training as well. It's going to be on Wednesday, May 18th, Wednesday, May 18th at 5 p.m. at Turning Point Church, and that's at 46 and Post Road. So if you're looking for employment and on the east side, far east side, and you don't have to be on that side of town, but we really connect you. Grassroots employers will be on site. Some employers are hiring on site. So if you go to my counselor page here, by the end of the week, there will be a flyer again, Wednesday, May 18th. It's a Wednesday at 5 p.m., my annual youth job hiring and resource fair, and we are doing for older adults as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Thank you, Chairwoman. As I said, the docket agenda for this meeting of the council having been completed, the chair will now entertain motions for adjournment.
Mr. President.
Chair recognizes Councilor Mowry.
Mr. President, I have been asked to offer the following motion for adjournment by all councilors in memory of former Sheriff Frank Anderson, by Councilor Adamson, Jackson, and Ray in memory of Norman Pace, by Councilors Larison and Mascari in memory of John W. Carlson, by Councilors Mowry, Anay, Bain, Dilk, and Hart in memory of John W. Sharon, by Councilor Mascari in memory of Daniel Noon. Mr. President, I would like to move the adjournment of this meeting of the Indianapolis City County Council in recognition of and the respect for the life and contributions of those persons I have here specifically named. I respectfully ask the support of fellow councilors. I further request that the motion be made part of the permanent record of this body and that a letter bearing the council seal and the signature of the president be sent to the family of each person advising of this action.
Thank you, Councilor Mowry. Hearing no objections, the motion is received and the requests are so ordered. Hearing no further motions, we're adjourned. Thank you.